You've been sitting on dreams that are bigger than you, visions that keep you awake at night, and ideas that won't leave your spirit because they weren't meant to. They were placed inside you for a reason. But here's the truth. Those dreams won't happen just because you hope for them. They won't happen because you pray for them. They won't happen because you talk about them. They will only happen when you push yourself beyond the limits you've been living in. The life you want will not come knocking on your door. You have to step into the fight, show up for yourself every day, and demand more from your effort than you ever have before. No one is coming to save you, and the sooner you understand this, the sooner you can take control of your life. Too many people are waiting for a miracle, waiting for someone to swoop in and fix their situation, waiting for the perfect opportunity to appear out of nowhere, but that's not how success works. Life rewards those who take ownership, those who stop waiting and start moving. When you put your hope in someone else to change your circumstances, you give away your power. You're telling yourself that your future is in someone else's hands, but the truth is it's not. Your life is your responsibility, and no one is going to work harder for your dreams than you will. People will encourage you, they might support you, and some will even believe in you, but nobody is going to do the work for you. Nobody is going to carry your vision with the same intensity that you can. Even the people who love you the most cannot live your life for you. The job you want, the business you dream of building, the person you want to become, those are all up to you. Waiting for someone to hand you an opportunity or push you forward will only keep you stuck, because growth only comes when you decide to take full control of your future. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that your circumstances are someone else's fault or that someone else is holding you back. But if you're honest, the person who's been holding you back the most is you. Blaming others for your struggles might feel easier, but it's not productive. Nobody is responsible for your happiness, your success, or your progress except for you. Once you accept that, you stop wasting energy waiting for things to change and start using that energy to change yourself. When you realize no one is coming to save you, you also realize that you have more power than you thought. You stop depending on other people's timelines, other people's opinions, and other people's resources to build your future. You stop looking for approval, and you start taking action. This is when true freedom begins, because you're no longer a prisoner of expectation. You're no longer waiting for someone to give you permission to chase your dreams. You start moving forward because you understand that nobody's going to hand you the life you want. You have to go get it yourself. Life is full of challenges. And while people might help you along the way, the burden of change will always fall on you. No one can wake up for you in the morning. No one can put in the hours of effort it takes to become excellent. No one can push through your fears for you. You are the one who has to step into the fire, endure the pain, and keep moving forward when it feels like everything is against you. That's what separates those who make things happen from those who spend their lives waiting. When you finally take responsibility for everything in your life, your mindset shifts. You stop saying, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I do to change this?" That's a powerful place to be, because it means you're no longer a victim of your circumstances. You start seeing problems as opportunities to grow, challenges as training grounds, and setbacks as lessons that will make you stronger. This kind of thinking puts you back in control, and control is what gives you confidence to take bold action. There's no rescue plan that will magically take you from where you are to where you want to be. You have to build the bridge yourself. You have to be willing to put in the work, even when nobody is watching, even when nobody claps for you, and even when it feels like your efforts aren't paying off. Every successful person has had moments where they felt completely alone, moments where quitting seemed easier, but they pushed through because they understood that no one was going to come and do it for them. You don't need saving. You need discipline, courage, and grit. The idea of someone else fixing your life is comforting, but it's an illusion. No one else knows your dreams like you do. No one else feels the fire inside you that refuses to die. That fire is yours, and so is the responsibility to protect it, feed it, and let it grow. When you stop relying on others to light your way, you become the one who sets the path on fire. You become unstoppable because your success no longer depends on outside forces. There will be moments when you feel like giving up because the journey is heavy, but this is when you must remind yourself that waiting for a savior will only make the wait longer. Strength is built in the struggle. Growth is found in the moments when you decide to get up, even when you feel broken. Nobody is going to push you out of bed every morning. Nobody is going to put in the hours for you, and nobody is going to care about your dreams more than you do. The sooner you embrace that truth, the sooner you can build the life you've been dreaming about. The harsh reality is that people are busy living their own lives, fighting their own battles, and chasing their own goals. That's not a reason to be bitter. It's a reason to take action. Nobody's absence or lack of support can stop you if you've already decided that you're the one responsible for your future. This mindset is empowering because it forces you to rely on yourself, and self-reliance is the foundation of success. The day you stop waiting for someone else to save you is the day you become unstoppable, because you'll finally understand that everything you've ever wanted has always been in your hands. Comfort is one of the most deceptive traps in life because it feels so safe, so easy, and so natural. It whispers to you that you've earned the right to relax, that you don't need to push harder, that where you are is good enough. But comfort is a slow poison that robs you of your potential. It convinces you that settling is okay, that staying the same is acceptable, and that chasing growth isn't worth the discomfort. Yet deep down, you know that every breakthrough you've ever had came after a period of discomfort, challenge, or struggle. Comfort promises peace, but it quietly kills progress because nothing great is ever built in a place where you don't feel challenged. The truth is, growth is uncomfortable by nature. When you grow, you stretch beyond your limits, and that process is never easy. Muscles only grow when they're torn down and rebuilt through resistance. Trees grow stronger when they're exposed to wind, storms, and pressure. People are no different. You don't become stronger, wiser, or more capable by staying in the same place. You only grow when you step into uncertainty, take risks, and allow yourself to be stretched beyond what feels safe. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it creates a future full of regret because it keeps you stagnant while time keeps moving forward. Comfort is dangerous because it doesn't always look like failure. In fact, it often feels like success because you're no longer struggling. You're no longer fighting, no longer pushing, no longer striving for more. But that's the trap. Comfort makes you believe that stopping is okay, that slowing down is harmless, but while you're standing still, life is passing you by. Opportunities are being seized by people who are willing to feel discomfort. While you're stuck convincing yourself that someday You'll step out of your comfort zone. Comfort feels like security, but in reality, it's a cage that keeps you from unlocking your true potential. When you choose comfort, you choose to avoid growth. And when you avoid growth, you delay your dreams. That's why the most successful people constantly seek discomfort. They understand that the life they want will require them to do things they've never done, to face fears they've always avoided, and to push through pain they'd rather escape. Growth isn't supposed to feel easy. It's supposed to stretch you, challenge you, and force you to become a new version of yourself. If you're not willing to leave your comfort zone, you're not willing to claim the future you say you want. Comfort is also seductive because it comes with instant gratification. It's always easier to sleep in than to wake up early, to skip the workout rather than push through the pain, to procrastinate rather than take action. Comfort offers you a quick sense of relief, but it robs you of long-term reward. The people who achieve greatness understand that comfort is temporary, but growth lasts forever. They'd rather endure the pain of discipline now than live with the regret of inaction later. Every moment of discomfort you choose today is an investment in the person you are becoming. Stepping out of your comfort zone is not just about working harder, it's about embracing risk. Comfort often disguises itself as safety, but the truth is, staying where you are is the riskiest choice you can make because it guarantees you'll stay the same. Risk is the price of growth. Every opportunity worth having will make you nervous. Every dream worth pursuing will stretch your limits. If you're not scared, you're not growing. Fear is proof that you're stepping into new territory, and that's exactly where your next level begins. Growth will always require sacrifice, and sacrifice is uncomfortable. You'll have to let go of old habits, old ways of thinking, and sometimes even old relationships that are holding you back. Comfort tells you to hold on to everything familiar, but growth demands that you let go of anything that no longer serves your future. It's painful to shade your old self, but it's necessary if you want to step into your full potential. The pain you feel in the process is not punishment, it's preparation. It's shaping you into someone capable of handling the weight of your destiny. The more you embrace discomfort, the easier it becomes to face it. At first, leaving your comfort zone feels terrifying because it's unfamiliar, but every time you push yourself to do something difficult, you expand what you're capable of. What was once uncomfortable becomes normal, and your capacity for growth increases. This is why the most successful people are constantly stretching themselves. They've trained their minds to find comfort in discomfort because they know that's where progress lies. Comfort zones aren't permanent. They expand every time you push through fear and take action. One of the greatest lies comfort tells you is that you have time. It convinces you that it's okay to wait until you're ready, that you can take action later, that the right moment will come eventually. But the truth is, you'll never feel ready, and the right moment never comes. Growth doesn't wait for you. Every day you choose comfort is another day you delay your future. The clock is ticking, and if you don't act now, you'll look back years from now wishing you had been willing to feel uncomfortable for a little while. Comfort steals time from you, and time is the one thing you can never get back. If you want to build a life of significance, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Growth is messy. It's hard. It's full of uncertainty and fear, but it's also where you find purpose, strength, and fulfillment. Comfort is the enemy of everything you were meant to become because it keeps you trapped in mediocrity. The world doesn't change because of people who played it safe. It changes because of people who dared to step out of their comfort zone and take action even when it was hard. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you take one step closer to becoming the person you were created to be. Relentless action is the catalyst that transforms dreams into reality because no amount of wishing, planning, or preparing can replace consistent execution. Many people get stuck in the cycle of thinking about their goals, mapping out strategies, and waiting for the perfect moment, but transformation doesn't happen in thought. It happens in motion. Taking relentless action means showing up every single day, no matter how you feel, no matter how many setbacks you face, and no matter how slow the progress seems. Transformation isn't a single breakthrough moment, it's the result of small, deliberate actions compounded over time. The person you become is forged in the daily grind, not in fleeting moments of inspiration. When you commit to relentless action, you create unstoppable momentum. At first, every step feels heavy because you're fighting against inertia and old habits that want to keep you where you are. But every action you take chips away at resistance. Over time, movement becomes easier because you've trained yourself to act without hesitation. Momentum becomes your ally, and suddenly, the effort that once felt overwhelming begins to feel natural. This is how transformation works. It's not an instant change, but a gradual shift that comes from refusing to stop. The discipline of daily action reshapes your identity, and your identity reshapes your reality. Relentless action also accelerates learning in a way that planning never can. When you act, you gain feedback. You see what works, what doesn't, and where you need to adjust. Every action is a lesson, and every lesson makes you sharper, more efficient, and more resilient. Those who succeed at the highest levels are not always the most talented. They're the ones who take more action than anyone else, which means they fail faster, learn faster, and grow faster. Transformation is a process of constant refinement, and action is the tool that sharpens your edge. The beauty of relentless action is that it builds confidence through evidence. Confidence doesn't come from motivational words or wishful thinking, it comes from proof. Every time you take action, you create proof that you're capable, and that proof rewires your mind to believe in yourself. You begin to trust your ability to figure things out, and that self-trust fuels even bolder action. Transformation starts as an internal shift, but that shift only happens when your actions give your mind a reason to believe. The more action you take, the more confident you become, and confidence becomes the engine that drives you forward. Relentless action also separates dreamers from doers. Many people talk about their goals, but few are willing to take consistent action when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. It's easy to work when motivation is high, but relentless action requires you to push forward even when everything in you wants to quit. That's where transformation begins, when you act in spite of your feelings. This level of commitment is rare, which is why those who embrace it stand out. They create opportunities others never see because action opens doors that waiting never will. When you take relentless action, you also destroy fear's hold on your life. Fear thrives in hesitation. The longer you wait, the stronger your fear grows because inaction feeds doubt. But action is the antidote to fear. Every step you take proves that fear doesn't have the final say, and with every act of courage, fear loses its power over you. Transformation is not about becoming fearless. It's about learning to act boldly even when fear is present. Courage is built through repetition, and relentless action is what teaches your mind and body to move forward no matter how scared you feel. Another powerful effect of relentless action is that it compounds over time. The small steps you take daily may not feel significant, but they build on each other to create massive results. Just as drops of water can carve a canyon over time, your actions can reshape your life in ways that seem impossible at first. The person you are today is the result of your past actions. And the person you'll become is determined by what you do right now. Transformation doesn't come from one big moment of effort. It's the outcome of relentless consistency. Relentless action also forces you to grow beyond your limits because every step into discomfort expands your capacity. Each time you take action when it's hard, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Over time, your limits stretch, and what once seemed impossible becomes routine. Transformation isn't just about achieving a goal, it's about becoming the kind of person who can handle greater challenges, responsibilities, and opportunities. The journey itself is what makes you stronger, wiser, and more capable of sustaining success. One of the greatest benefits of relentless action is that it builds character. It teaches you patience because results don't come overnight. It teaches you resilience because setbacks are inevitable. It teaches you humility because growth is a process of failing forward. Every time you take action despite obstacles, you're developing the mental toughness required to handle the rewards of success. True transformation is not just about reaching a destination. It's about becoming someone who can carry the weight of that success without breaking. Relentless action is also a signal to the world and to yourself that you are serious. It sets a standard for how you live and what you expect from yourself. When you act relentlessly, you attract opportunities, people, and resources that align with your level of commitment. Success gravitates toward those who move with urgency and purpose because the world recognizes energy and drive. Transformation is not accidental, it's intentional, and relentless action is the proof of that intention. Every step you take builds a future you once thought was out of reach, and every day of consistent action brings that future closer. Your future depends on your hunger because hunger is the fuel that drives every action you take, every risk you embrace, and every obstacle you overcome. Without hunger, you settle for less, you compromise your potential, and you stop chasing the life you were created to live. Hunger is not just desire, it is a relentless fire that burns so deeply that quitting isn't an option. It is the difference between those who dream and those who do. People who are hungry for success, growth, and change will go further than those who rely only on talent or opportunity because hunger creates resilience that nothing else can. Hunger is what keeps you moving when motivation fades. Motivation is temporary, and it's easy to feel inspired when things are going well. But hunger is permanent because it comes from a deeper place. It's that voice inside that says, I refuse to stay here. It pushes you to get out of bed when you'd rather sleep, to keep going when others stop, and to find a way when there seems to be none. Hunger doesn't care about your feelings or circumstances. It demands action. It's not about waiting for the perfect time. It's about creating opportunities through relentless pursuit. The hungrier you are, the more resourceful you become. People who are comfortable wait for resources, connections, and permission. Hungry people figure it out. They start with what they have, they learn along the way, and they refuse to let lack become an excuse. Hunger sharpens your creativity because when your desire for change is strong enough, you stop focusing on what you don't have and start using everything you do have to make progress. Hunger transforms scarcity into innovation because it forces you to find a way forward no matter what. Hunger also makes you immune to failure. When you're hungry enough, failure is never final. Every setback becomes fuel, every rejection becomes motivation, and every challenge becomes proof that you are getting stronger. People who lack hunger let failure define them, but hungry people let failure refine them. They see obstacles as stepping stones, not roadblocks, because their desire for their future outweighs their fear of failure. Hunger gives you the mental toughness to get back up again and again until you succeed. Your hunger determines the level of sacrifice you're willing to make. Everyone says they want success, but very few are willing to pay the price. Hunger separates the talkers from the doers. When you're hungry enough, you're willing to wake up earlier, work harder, and push yourself further than most people will. You're willing to endure discomfort, criticism, and isolation because you're more focused on the destination than the pain it takes to get there. Hunger keeps you moving when logic says stop, and that persistence is what creates extraordinary results. Hunger also attracts opportunity because it's contagious. People can feel it when you're serious about your goals. They see it in your work ethic, your energy, and your actions. Hungry people stand out because their drive is undeniable. Doors open for those who are relentless because hunger demonstrates commitment. When you carry hunger, you don't have to chase every opportunity. Many of them will find you because the world respects those who move with passion and urgency. Your hunger shapes your identity. The hungrier you are, the more you grow, and as you grow, you begin to see yourself differently. You stop identifying with your limitations, your past failures, or your current circumstances. You start to see yourself as someone capable of more, and that belief changes everything. Hunger pushes you to develop the discipline, mindset, and habits necessary to match the future you want. Your life will always rise to the level of your hunger because hunger shapes the choices you make daily. Hunger is also what keeps you from becoming complacent. Comfort is one of the biggest enemies of success because it convinces you to settle. But hunger refuses to let you stay the same. Even when you achieve certain milestones, hunger pushes you to keep growing, keep learning, and keep evolving. It's not about being dissatisfied, it's about knowing you have more inside you. Hunger is the voice that says, don't stop here. There's another level waiting for you. It's what separates those who achieve temporary success from those who build lasting greatness. When you are truly hungry for your future, excuses no longer have power over you. You stop blaming circumstances, other people, or your past, because hunger focuses your attention on solutions. It forces you to take ownership of your life and stop waiting for someone else to save you. Hunger makes you unstoppable because it turns your dreams into a non-negotiable mission. It's not about whether it will happen, it's about when, because you've already decided you won't quit until it does. Your future is a reflection of your hunger today. If your hunger is weak, your actions will be weak and your results will reflect that. But if your hunger is strong, you'll create momentum that no obstacle can stop. The level of hunger you carry determines the quality of life you build, the impact you make, and the person you become. Hunger is the fuel that keeps the fire of your vision alive when others give up. It's the reason you'll look back one day and realize that everything you dreamed of became real because you wanted it badly enough to never stop chasing it.